All right, we're here live now with Akil Thomas, the World Junior Champion of the 2020 World Juniors, Canadian icon, Canadian star. How does it feel, man? It's been a couple weeks now since you scored that golden goal. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was crazy. A lot of different feelings. It was crazy. I'm just pretty happy to kind of settle down, and obviously I got traded, so to settle down with my new team and kind of get used to the schedule and get used to my billets and stuff, and everything kind of just died down a bit, and it feels really good. And no, but it was an awesome month of the team, and to end off kind of how it did, I couldn't have asked for it to end off better. So I was pumped.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
What was that experience like? You go from scoring that goal, and then a couple of days later, you get traded, have to move out to Peterborough, new billets. Like that's got to be a huge change all within a week span.
Yeah, and like a couple days ago we played like Niagara, so like it was so weird. I don't even know how to explain it. Like just leaving my team and playing with another team for a month felt weird, and then coming back and kind of knowing I was being traded was weird, and then being traded, and playing my old team. It's just been like I've never really experienced something like this where there's just so many things happening at once, and obviously with the media and stuff, there's so many interviews and so many things to do. So it's been fun. It's been a good ride, and I ended up going to a Raptors game. They had me out, and like the Leafs game had me out, and just
Hey,
like like a
you've been on
VIP
a
thing.
world tour.
So yeah,
You
it's been crazy.
guys been
Yeah,
posting videos with the Nelk boys, dropping pucks at
yeah,
these games, Raps.
yeah,
We had been texting throughout the tournament while you were over in Europe, and I was super excited to get you on, and then you go and score that goal. Gosh, the Athletes podcast comes second fiddle to the Leafs.
yeah,
It makes
yeah.
sense.
It just goes to show like how supportive Canadian fans are. And even during the games there, like you could see so many Canadian jerseys in the stands. Even when we were playing Czech, like it was 50-50. I thought we're
No
definitely going to
way.
get dominated in the stands, but it was like 50-50. And then also when we played like the States, we did like I didn't see one USA jersey all tournament. Uh, so it just goes to show like how supportive Canada is, how serious they take the World Juniors and their hockey, and I think that's why we dominate, just because of how important it is to the country. And yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts there.
What's that like? You go through, you're playing against, this isn't your first time playing and representing Canada. You're playing, there's just this natural rivalry that is present with the US, present with Finland, Russia. You get thumped by the Russians in the preliminary rounds, and then you beat them in the finals. What's that like?
Yeah, it was tough. It was weird though. Like no one really was choked. Obviously to lose 6-0, it was like I think it was the worst loss Canada's ever had in the World Juniors in history. So
Yeah, I
like
didn't want to bring that
that
up.
kind of sucked, but I didn't like. No one really panicked. We knew like we were good. We knew we just had an off game, and like I was looking forward to seeing them in the finals just because of like they were chirping us hard. Like going back to the room, we have to walk past each other, and they were
Oh,
like
man.
giving it to us, saying like you guys suck and stuff. And even on the ice, like they were just every draw, they're like you guys are terrible. Like so, it was like it just
That's fuel to
it
the
goes to
fire for
show
sure.
like yeah, like in World Juniors, that's just how it goes. Like it's weird. So many times like the the typical Canada Russia games where Russia's up 5-0 and Canada comes back in the third. It just I kind of felt like that. Like I kind of saw it happening. They got really cocky after they beat us, and I literally thought to myself like if we play them in the finals, we're gonna beat them. So even when we were losing, in like going into the third like 3-1, I think like I knew we were gonna win. Everyone kind of felt like it was just a matter of time before we came back. So it's
Yeah,
just the way World Juniors is. It's weird.
you guys went, you were down 3-1. I think there was only about 10 minutes left when you guys scored that second goal. And how did you feel? Because, throughout those first two periods, you were only on the ice for, what was
Yeah,
it, 4 minutes, right? How do you
yeah.
stay patient in that situation? This can't be easy for a 20-year-old. You're trying to get on the world stage, and you're out there for 4 minutes first 2 periods, and then you
Yeah,
get an opportunity.
well, my dream kind of heading into the tournament was to, be a guy that like was remembered in like World Junior history, like to be a Jordan Eberle and to be like a John Tavares, to be like one of those guys that, made a difference and kind of helped Canada win a gold medal. So like early on in the tournament, obviously I wasn't playing too much, and it was tough. Like, it was like I literally hold like that dream of being like a Team Canada hero and like making the NHL on the same level. So I felt like my dream slipping a bit, and like you said, like I was being patient, and it was tough. It was definitely tough, but like it was weird. Like I was literally saying in my head, like I'm gonna score. I'm gonna have one more shift in this game. That was during the third period, and I'm gonna score during that last shift. So I was just like, it was weird, man. Like I kind of felt it. I just felt it. Like I had a feeling I was going to score, and obviously I ended up scoring. And then after the game, Dale came up to me, the head coach, and he was like, "Yeah, I had like a weird feeling that you're going to score. So like I just put you out there." And it just worked out like perfectly. And I think, I think the hockey gods are real, and they were with us that game for sure.
It's crazy. You go from that, and you've got to be gripping your stick a little tighter going down there. You get an opportunity. You see that Russian goalie who doesn't play that puck. Would argue like I'm a tendy. I'm probably throwing myself out there trying.
Yeah.
You drag that off the goal line and you tow that around. Just disgusting goal on so many levels.
I mean, like you said, you might be coming out there, and like I was just watching it after. Like he definitely should have, I think, but I think like I had a lot of speed. And like it was really close. Like it was really, really close. And I think like obviously like it was pretty late in the game. I think it was 3:57 or something like that. And like if he came out and like I got it and like I had a wide open net, like he was gonna get like ripped apart like everywhere. So I think he just wanted to play it safe, and like he played it pretty well. I mean, I was coming in with a lot of speed. Like it was tough read.
That's what it comes down to. Yeah. No, you got boys back here in Niagara that are just lighting up 24/7. I've never seen a community come together like the way the Ice Dogs community support. I mean, you've been tried and true here for the past 4 years. You're basically the poster boy for the Ice Dogs, and you get traded, unfortunately, but it's the way the OHL works. How did it feel going over to Europe, spending a month there with the squad? Did you feel like there was that disadvantage? Because typically World Juniors Canada doesn't fare as well over in Europe. Did you feel like there was ever that disadvantage?
No, not at all. I didn't feel disadvantaged just because like every other team's in Europe and every other team's adjusting to a different environment, different, like they all have. So I didn't really feel disadvantaged at all. I mean, because like if the tournament was in Calgary, I was still going to be in a hotel, still going to be eating same food every day, still going to be away from family. So I don't think it really mattered where it was. The only thing that was a little bit different was the Olympic ice, right? Right. You definitely have to play a little bit differently. Like it's not the same at all.
Yeah.
So I think that was pretty much the only difference I kind of felt.
How much has Zale exploded? I want to get a bit into your company, a bit of an entrepreneurial athlete that you are, starting this company, Zale. You've been in the Ice Dogs merchandise story, and now you've just blown up. You got O-Dog wearing a size medium on TSN. How much has it blown up?
Yeah, it's like I couldn't even explain. Like it's been absolutely crazy. Like destroyed like my sales record for a month. Like just it took it to a whole different level. I don't even know where it is now in terms of like birth of the company or anything like that. Like we're still trying to put out some fires just because with a really like high quantity of orders in such a little time, it creates a couple of holes, and we had to fix a couple of things, and obviously like hundreds and hundreds of people are like waiting to get their merchandise, and it's just a matter of actually like finding time to actually like package each individual one and ship it out, right? So it doesn't happen quick, and We weren't expecting as many as we got. We were expecting a few because of the TSN feature, but it went to levels that we didn't know they were going to go to.
Yeah, it's a testament again to, like you said, the Canadian fans and people just loving the product. And it goes to show when you put a good product out there, you got a good logo, people want to represent, right? How exciting was it to be able to come back and share this with your family? You're super close. Your dad played at a professional level as well. Your mom's an athlete. How did it feel to be able to come back and share that with your family?
Yeah, it was cool. To be honest, we like at the airport, it was a little bit tough just because we had a game, we celebrated, we had a bus at 3 a.m. for 4 hours, slept in the airport for like a couple hours because our flight got delayed. Had a 9-hour flight, and then we landed. So like I was pretty tired, and I opened the door and I was just expecting to see my GM and to go back to Niagara and see the boys and kind of see like just chill with them and get some McDonald's in me. But like there's 20 reporters and like 80 people I knew, and it was a bit overwhelming. Like I was really tired. Like I was kind of over all the interviews and all the attention. So but no, I was pretty happy to see a lot of family and stuff. But it was overwhelming for sure. Like the only thing I was really thinking about was like getting home to see the boys and just getting into bed to sleep. So
How has the transition been? You spend a couple of years with the Ice Dogs, and now you're transitioning over to the Peterborough Petes team for this second half of the season. How have they been? Have they been welcoming, bringing you in?
yeah, very, very welcoming coming in. I remember at our first practice, like there was fans at the practice. So I haven't really seen that before, but no, it's been amazing here. The guys are really good. My billets are really, really good. I live with Michael Little, a guy I've known for a while, played on the Marlies with him, and it's been really fun. Yeah, I couldn't be happier really with the way things are going now. And I think it's only been like 2 weeks, but I've gotten pretty close to everyone so far, and it just feels like I've been here for a little bit longer, obviously.
So important to be able to come into a situation where you're comfortable, and then you can just focus on playing hockey, not have to worry about those other little things.
Yeah, for sure. Basically, yeah, it's an adjustment, but at the end of the day, like I'm here to, play hockey, and we're playing pretty well as a team right now, and it's been an easy adjustment, for the coaching style and the systems and, my line mates. So that's going well. So I think pretty much everything else kind of follows like that. And we're a really good team. So, like the adjustment could have been a little bit, it could have been shitty and I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
If the team was good, because at the end of the day, I want to win this year. And it's just kind of, it's even better that the adjustment's been easy, and, we're doing well. So, yeah.
So you've got, the Mem Cup in sight here with the Petes. Looking forward, a couple of years ago, you were drafted by the Kings. You're originally projected to go in that first round. You kind of slipped a bit going to the second round, 44th overall. How did that feel? And again, I think it's a little testament to your patience. What was it like having the Kings call your name up and knowing you're going to spend a couple of years down in Los Angeles?
Yeah. That was definitely a tough day, the first day of the draft, just because I didn't have any indication that I could have or might have slipped. So it was kind of, it was a surprise to me, but like obviously there's a lot of good players in the draft. So it happens, and it just happened to me. So I just kind of gave me more, fuel to kind of use to get better at the things I need to get better at, and to kind of, just light something under me. And it did. I definitely benefited from that experience. And, obviously I was a little bit upset the first day, but to be called by LA the next day was huge. I didn't even care about slipping anymore. I was so excited. That was the team I wanted to go to since day one. And it's been amazing couple of years going to depth camps and main camps with them already. So, now that I'm in my last year in the O, and next year I'll be hopefully moving on to pro. I'm really excited for it, and I'm really excited to kind of get over there as quick as possible.
Yeah, start dominating at that next level and start producing. Okay, so I gotta ask you. You post on your Instagram stories all the time, tossing a whole bunch of syrup onto your hash
Yeah,
browns. When that start? What's it all about?
yeah. That actually started at a U17 tournament for Team Canada in the Sioux. We had basically the same breakfast every day, and the when you have the same like food every day, like it's kind of hard to enjoy it as much as you do every day. It just gets kind of worse and worse. And we had these home fries at the hotel every morning, and one day I just put like some syrup on it and see how it tastes. And like I love syrup. I put syrup on my bacon, my eggs, and everything. And I just tried it on my home fries, and it was like really good. And like I didn't get tired of it after then. So it's just something I kind of I've stuck with. And there's a place on Hartstone called Lancer that we always go to on game days. Elijah Roberts, Andrew Bruder.
So it's
Actually,
the
this year, like all the boys go. It's like half the team now. So I'm not going to name half the team, but those guys are the kind of first guys to come with me, and we go there. Like I said, every game day, and Elijah and I just drench our stuff in syrup, and the home fries at Lancer are unreal. Like you gotta try them. I don't know if you have, but
I have the
like,
Lancers a staple in our household.
oh yeah, okay, good, yeah. So
Boys know in the Niagara region, they're just getting a free shout out.
I've never had home fries as good as the Lancers, to be honest. So everyone try them out.
Yeah, there you go. And you get a little quick burst of energy before that game day.
Yeah.
Eh? So you've got now you're moving forward in. How are you making sure that you don't get too far ahead of yourself and you focus on your last couple months here in the O and making sure that your team performs at the best level possible?
Yeah, I'm not really like I think I'm pretty humble. Like I think, people ask me like, oh, like the attention, like how is it and stuff. And like I don't really know. Like I don't really notice or feel any different than like I did before I scored the goal. If anything, I just have more of an impact with what I post and what I do, and I have more people watching me. So that's just how I see it. People say, oh, it must be cool to have way more followers than you did before, or like just special perks and stuff. But no, I don't really feel it like that. It's just kind of the way I am. For me, I just kind of see it more of an opportunity to make an impact with whatever I do.
Yeah, it's a very humble way of approaching it. It's refreshing to hear from a nice young 20-year-old. There you go. So you've also mentioned to me prior, you're talking about hosting a podcast. This is a shout out to Jordan here, who's can't have a mic, but you're talking about hosting your own podcast. You want to dive a bit into that and see if we can get some additional followers?
So a really good family friend of mine called Kwame Mason. He's the producer of Soul on Ice, the movie, or Soul on Ice. It's basically a documentary on various black hockey players and like the history behind the black hockey players and how it started and who the first to do it, Leo Ree, and just everything like that. And I was actually featured in it with a little bit of my family members, and so was Elijah Roberts. And so Elijah and I, like, if you sit with us at Lancer one day, like you'd be amazed, like how much we argue about just stupid stuff. And one day, like actually with Nino
guy
who used to work for the Ice Dogs, really good guy. We were just talking, and they're like, we should start a podcast, like out of no kind. And you're just like, maybe you should actually start a podcast. And we got in touch with Kwame, obviously, and he's like, I thought right away, like he's like the perfect guy to kind of get in on it. So we all kind of partner together, and it's going to be called Soul on Ice, the podcast, and we're just going to tell some stories and just discuss issues and that have to do with the black hockey community. And we really wanted to kind of focus it on more of the positive things, and
right.
Things like more and more players, black players developing to be like higher draft picks and stuff. I don't really want it to be the focus on the negatives of how race kind of is in hockey. So yeah.
Yeah, it's something that it's important though, and it's good that you guys are going forward and doing something like this, because as much as it's important to focus on the positives, there's also the negatives that can't be ignored. So it's nice that you're bringing a positive light and shining a positive image on
Yeah,
something that isn't necessarily always looked at.
right. And like I think just like podcasts in general, like they're starting to get more popular. For example, like you've obviously started one here, and you just hear more and more coming out nowadays. And obviously with Spin Chick, that's being a very popular one. And yeah, I don't I can't think of like an Instagram page or like a podcast or anything like that kind of represents like the black hockey community. And I think it's just something that no one's really done on a consistent basis. And I think it's kind of a good thing that we got going here. And I think there's a lot of potential with it. So.
Yeah, I know every single follower of the Athletes Podcast will be interested, and we'll send you over a follow. So we're looking forward to hearing about that. So a couple more questions. What's it like? Take us through a day of an athlete at one of these World Junior events, or for instance, working as an OHL player. What's a day look like for Akil?
Yeah, do you want a game day or a practice day, or
let's go game day, since those are the big ones.
Okay, game day is sorry about that.
You're good.
So game day is we wake up pretty early, probably. We go to the rink for either a stretch or a pregame skate. Depends on if we played the day before, how the boys are feeling. Yeah, we do our thing. We stretch or we go on the ice, and then we come back to the hotel. We eat, then we just have downtime until probably 3:30, and then at like 3:30 we have like a snack before we go to the rink for like 4:15, 4:30, and then obviously it's supposed to be there like 2 hours before a game for hockey, so we have a little bit more extra time, and then we just play at 7. So it's a pretty easy schedule, and it's pretty generic. Sorry.
Don't die on me. We gotta.
No, I know I'm battling a bad cold right now, but yeah, it's pretty much what an average day looks like for our game days.
And then you go out and perform. So we're halfway through the season here for a lot of these players, younger players that may be listening to the podcast. What kind of advice can you give to guys who might be entering into their bantam draft, entering into the NHL draft? Sometimes it's a tough time, a lot of pressure on kids. What are some little tips and advice you can give to them to sort of ease their minds?
Yeah, probably not to get complacent. Like if you're good, it's not going to be good enough at the next level. You're going to have to make it even better. And that's just something I learned just because I was always a pretty good player growing up. And when I got to the O, I was like, wow, like I'm not that good. I got to get way better. And I got to improve on a lot of stuff. And my weaknesses, get exposed like once a shift. So I got to work on everything. And for me, I'm kind of a student of the game. So I watch a lot of film. I watch, film on the best players and how, the guys dominate at the NHL level, because it's hard enough to do it at the OHL level. So yeah, I do that for sure. If you're young, be a student of the game, learn from the best. And, every time I've played with a really good player, I've always taken something from them. If you look at our team last year, we had Jason Robertson, Jack Studnicka, Ivan Lodniak, Maximov, Jones. We had a lot of good players. Like everyone was very good, and I took a little bit of something from pretty much everyone on my team last year, and that's just what I think the best players do, and I think that's what makes them special.
Yeah, so that's a very unique way of looking at it, making sure you just take the positives a little bit from each person. Is there one player in particular, at the NHL level that you try and emulate your game after?
Well, I think I try to do that with like a lot of players, but I think right now I'm looking at Barzal a lot, just because he's a smaller guy, and he's right-handed. I don't know if he's playing center or wing right now. I think he's both, but I think he's wing in the NHL right now. But
yeah.
I just want to learn how to use my feet like he does. He's a really explosive, really good skater, and He's not that big, obviously, and I'm kind of like the same size as him. So I'm looking at some film on him, and like if you watch the way he uses his like fakes and his feet to make plays, it's really cool. It's unique and it's different. Like no one really plays exactly like him, and he's somebody that like it's very fun to watch. So
Dude, funny story. I grew up playing. Well, hold on, I'll backtrack. He played at Burnaby Winter Club out in BC, and in Adam, I got lit up by him. Probably he scored about 7 goals on me. Just burnt the back of my neck. But that kid's been a stud ever since. Everyone knew he was going to be going to the NHL, and it was just a matter of time, and he's proven it now. So, not a bad guy to look up to for yourself, and I think you keep working the way you have been. There's no doubt in my mind that you'll be the next guy up there tearing up this show.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks. And so finally, you've got this time moving forward here. There's a bunch of distractions. How are you staying true to Akil Thomas and the nature that you've grown up with, that humble guy?
Yeah, like that's a good question. Like a lot, like many times of the day, I'm kind of like looking at all the notifications on my phone. I'm like, wow, like this is a lot, and I'm getting a lot of text messages for a lot of different things. I'm getting a lot of DMs. A lot of people asking to be on podcasts for interviews for this stuff with Zale, this stuff. I don't know. There's just a lot on my plate right now, and it's weird just because I'm not like the type of guy to kind of be selfish and like focus on myself, but I've kind of learned, and I realize that sometimes you have to, just because I'm here to perform and I'm here to play hockey, and to do that I need to be stress free. I need to get rest, and can't let a bunch of little things kind of affect that. So that's kind of one thing I've learned, and obviously in an NHL superstar like Kopitar or Brown or McDavid, they've kind of learned that for sure pretty early, and it's just kind of like an inside look on what life might look like as a pro.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't agree more with what you said, and it's so true, because you were true to your word. We had chatted. You said you were going to come on the podcast. I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous once you scored that goal. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna lose. But I really appreciate you coming on, taking the time out of your day. I know you got an insanely busy schedule. I know you got a million DMs you're avoiding from different women trying to get you out. But the Athletes Podcast sincerely appreciates you coming on, taking the time, and it's been amazing. Really appreciate everything that you did, staying true to your word, and we're looking forward to seeing you move on and just hopefully raise that Mem Cup, and then we'll see maybe a couple of years raise that as Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool.
You'd probably go down as one of the best in NHL history. Good old Canadian from Scarborough.
Yep.
All right, man. We'll take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks again for coming on to the Athletes Podcast.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Take it easy.